question 9 is a little bit different than other notes payable problems because the company is making periodic interest payments rather than just waiting until the end of the loan term to pay everything back. So the first step is to go ahead and make the journal entry for when the money is borrowed, and I've done that here. And then 3 months later, at the end of December 2017, the company needs to accrue the interest that has accumulated thus far on this loan. It says up here the note was issued October 1st, 2017, and that's just another way of saying that the money was borrowed on this date. And so we need to accrue 3 months interest. We'll go ahead and multiply the original amount borrowed by this annual interest rate, divide that amount by 12 to get the monthly interest, and then multiply by 3 to get 3 months worth of interest. Then where things get a little bit different is when you get to this point at the end of March in the next year, because the company is making an interest payment on the debt. And so it's going to pay for 6 months worth of interest here. It says up in this paragraph that interest is payable semi-annually, so every 6 months. So 6 months worth of interest then is this figure, and that's going to be my credit to cash. And then remember, we already recognized the first 3 months of interest expense back here in 2017. And we credited interest payable for that figure. So we're going to debit interest payable to zero that out. But we have an additional 3 months of interest expense that we need to recognize. And that's where I got this figure, which I'm debiting to interest expense. So in other words, we're paying for 6 months worth of interest, but we recognize half of it as interest expense in 2017 through this adjusting entry, and the other half, the other 3 months of interest expense here in this entry. Then on September 30th, we're making another semi-annual payment of interest. And so between April 1st and the end of September, that's 6 months. And so we're going to pay another 6 months worth of interest, and we're going to debit all of that to interest expense. Finally, on that same day, we're going to pay back the original amount borrowed, and so I'm debiting notes payable and crediting cash.